What's going on, Stim Junkies? Hi, Stim Ace here. Hope you guys are having an incredible start to your 2026. This is our year, and we are absolutely gonna crush it. With that being said, it is High Stim Saturday. It is my first video coming back to 2026, so we are gonna start off strong. And this video here is for our good friends over at Project M Supplements. Now, this massive tub that I'm holding here in my hands is the latest version of Mindfuck, which has been reformulated from the previous version. In case you guys don't remember, I reviewed V1 a little while back. It's the one that had President Trump going off against the alien or the predator or whatever it was. And that was a pretty solid pre-workout, a little bit more on the nootropic side, nothing mind-blowing, but this one here promises to change the game. So let's not waste any more time. Let's roll that freaking intro for the first time in 2026. And when we come back, we're going to review Mindfuck version 2. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is a badass looking tub and definitely an upgrade over the last version, which we had President Trump going off against Alien or Predator. This one's really cool. It's got the UK flag here for a reason, because this is a collaboration with Gym Power UK. But this is such a cool, badass looking aesthetic. Almost looks like this skeleton over here has got some wings with the UK colors, but overall very badass aesthetic, as to be expected from Project M Supplements. Claims to provide pump, focus, endurance, energy, and sweat. And this here is the Damson Plum flavor. We're going to talk about that because I have a thing or two to say about this, but overall, beautiful, sexy, sleek looking aesthetic, and definitely fitting in with Project M Supplements. So as you guys just saw, this one here does fly the UK flag colors, and that is because this is a collaboration between Project M Supplements and Gym Power UK. Obviously, it is available in America. It does ship from America over at the Illicit Subs website, which I will link in the end of the video with a discount code if you guys are interested in picking that bad boy up. And I think you're going to be interested because, label aside, the experience on this was really unique and interesting, and there's definitely a lot to discuss. Now, in terms of flavor, we are getting the Damson Plum flavor in here, which is the very first time I've ever had a plum flavored pre-workout. And I had a very interesting experience with this one because I did receive this one initially about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it wasn't until 3 days ago where I ran it for the first time, and today I ran it for the second time. Now, if you guys see the color inside, it's got this beetroot looking color, and for some reason there is a scent that comes off of this that isn't very pleasant. It has a very chemical type of scent, and the very first time I opened it, I shook the hell out of this tub because I always do that when I review new pre-workouts. I want to make sure everything disperses evenly and mixes in properly and whatnot. And there was a cloud that came from me mixing up this mixture, and the first time I opened it, that cloud of chemical smoke entered my nose and I started coughing my lungs out, and I was kind of hesitant to taste the pre-workout after that because I was kind of nervous that it was going to have a coughing type of effect, and it was a silly concern to have because mixing the drink in, it tastes just fine. A little bit sour, a little bit tart, nothing too crazy, but definitely no issues on the way down. It's a rather pleasant flavor. It's unique. I've never had a plum flavored pre-workout before, but it's definitely interesting. Just make sure when you do open it for the first time and you do shake it, just be ready for that cloud of smoke because it might be a little bit of an intense experience. But we don't care about scent and flavor anyway because this here is the High Stim Ace channel. We care about the labels and the real world effects. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's break down this label. So looking at the supplement facts here, you either get 60 servings if you take this drink at 1 scoop or 30 servings at 2 scoops. Obviously, this is the full dose, full scoop channel, so no half measures on the High Stim Ace channel. We took the full 2 scoops both times I ran this pre-workout, but it's interesting that you're getting 30 servings in here, and it makes sense because this is a pretty big tub. It's pretty hefty. It's pretty heavy. So obviously makes sense that you're getting more than just your standard 20 or even 25 servings. So 30 genuine servings in here is a game changer, and thank you Project M for that. So we are going to begin. We are going to go with the pump matrix first. It is broken down into 5 different matrices, as is pretty much common with all the Project M Supplements pre-workouts, and I like it. It kind of makes it a very clean interface to read through. Interface, is that the right word? Whatever. Guys, we are starting with pump, and we are getting citrulline malate 2-to-1 ratio at 10,000 milligrams. And thank God for that, because I do love citrulline malate. I know in this day and age, everybody in the industry is shifting towards regular L-citrulline, which is great too. But if it is properly dosed at a proper ratio, citrulline malate for me personally always gives a better pump. That's just me. Everybody is different. So 10 grams in here is a very solid dose. You're getting at least 6 grams of citrulline and 4 grams of malic acid, and that's going to synergize really well and give you a really nice and juicy pump. And then we have sodium nitrate coming in here, NO at 2000 milligrams. So a little bit of nitrate action really going to help with that vascularity. Next up, we have the focus matrix, and we start off with choline bititrate at 4,000 milligrams. Massive, massive dose to give you that nootropic focus. And it makes a lot of sense looking at this package here, because the feeling I got on this one was very, very nootropic. And we're gonna talk about that in a moment. We have N-acetyl L-tyrosine, my favorite nootropic, at 1,500 milligrams. And this is definitely a little bit more potent than just your typical L-tyrosine. This is a more concentrated form. So 1,500 milligrams should really feel more like 3,000-4,000. And if it is well sourced, you're definitely going to be feeling that. We have Juglans Regia extract next at 300 milligrams. And that's interesting because if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, but I do think the previous version actually did say DMHA or 2-amino. This one says Juglans Regia. So that is very interesting. And I will let you know what I think of that. Either way, if it's well sourced, 300 milligrams should definitely give you a nice little head high. And speaking of head high, we have Arrhea coming in at 200 milligrams for additional floaty mood elevation. Huperzine A 1% at 3 milligrams, nice dose for more nootropic focus. And alpha-yohimbine at 3 milligrams. Not sure why this is in the focus section. I mean, technically, I guess it does help you focus, but I'll definitely put it under the energy section. So a little bit of interesting labeling going on here. Then we have endurance, which is its own category and just one ingredient, beta-alanine at 4,000 milligrams. So that's interesting. More than the clinical dose, theoretically, you should be feeling some sort of tingling sensation. Now we have the energy package where Alpha-Yo should have gone into. We start off with L-taurine at 2,000 milligrams. I guess that fits in, right? It does help with energy, endurance, and stamina, kind of a jack-of-all-trades kind of ingredient, if you will. Then we're getting caffeine anhydrous at 300 milligrams. Good dose. I like it. And dicaffeine malate at 150 milligrams, which yields, I do believe, 75%. So overall, not a very high amount of caffeine in here. So I like it. It's you're getting essentially like 375 or 400 total, which is good. I mean, that's a high amount of caffeine, but it's not over the top crazy. Lastly, we have the sweat category in here. You are getting bitter orange extract at 30 milligrams, so that is the natural version of synephrine. 30 milligrams is not the craziest dose. I've gone up until like 120 or 150. So 30 milligrams should contribute a little bit with the Alpha-Yo. It should maybe help you sweat a little bit. We got vitamin B3 as niacin at 20 milligrams, which for me is okay. Anything over 20-25 milligrams of niacin, I start getting the itchy feeling and the redness in the ears and elbows. Not a fan of it. 20 milligrams is just the cutoff point for me. And lastly, to bring the entire package together, we have BioPerine black pepper extract coming in at 4 milligrams. Before HiStim breaks down my experience running the Mindfuck pre-workout 2 times over the past week, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a pre-workout enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Alright guys, so today was my second time running the all-new Mindfuck from Project M Supplements. The first time was about 2 or 3 days ago after work, so I ran it at about 6:15 p.m. Didn't get to the gym until about 6:30, 6:35, and today I did run it a little bit earlier. Today I'm recording this on Friday. You guys are watching on HiStim Saturday, and I just got back from the gym not too long ago. I took the drink at about 2:15 today, got to the gym at about 2:30, 2:35, and I had a good night's sleep last night. I actually got in 8 hours last night. I passed out at 10 p.m. I was freaking shot. It's been a long week. But either way, there is a big difference taking a pre-workout when you're on about 5.5 hours of sleep or when you're on 8 hours of sleep and you actually feel rested and recovered. Now, the first time I ran it and today were pretty much identical experiences, meaning the product is consistent, which is why I always like running things numerous times to get a feeling. Now, when it comes to Project M Supplements, I'm very familiar with their pre-workouts, with their sourcing, because a lot of their stuff does feel very similar, very consistent, so I know more or less what to expect. Now, the very first version I ran a couple of months back, to me, was a little bit underwhelming. It wasn't a bad pre-workout by any stretch of the imagination. It just felt very, very basic. It didn't feel like anything special. And I forget if the original version said Juglans Regia or DMHA, but it definitely didn't feel like it had neither in there. Maybe a riot at like 150 or 200 milligrams, but it was very weak, very in the background, mostly nootropic focused. Again, it wasn't a bad experience. It just wasn't anything that I would willingly go back to. Now, the version we have over here is a definite improvement. Does this slap the living daylights out of you? No, it's not that kind of pre-workout. I would also put this more in the nootropic category, but it's definitely enhanced and stronger than the previous version. If I had to compare this to one pre-workout that's a little bit more mainstream that a lot of you guys probably tried out, I would compare it to the Panda Skull Limited Edition, which is a very, very nootropic focused pre-workout, but also gives you a great mood elevation, good, clean, consistent energy without getting your heart rate going crazy, without your heart feeling like it's going to leap out of your chest. This here is a smooth experience. It's more of a mental experience, and it does initially come in mentally before you feel the physical aggression. So you're definitely going to feel that mood elevation, that nootropic focus that's kind of shifting you into a different stratosphere. You're going to start feeling that at the 8 to 10 minute mark. This thing hits relatively quickly, definitely dialed in focus from that N-acetyl L-tyrosine. It is more potent than regular tyrosine. You're going to get the blinders on, and that mood elevation from the Araya is definitely going to come in, and the Juglans Regia as well. I do believe this is Juglans Regia. It definitely doesn't feel like that synthetic lab-made yum-yums that was made in a bunker in World War II somewhere. So I wouldn't compare this to other DMHA2 amino pre-workouts, but as far as a natural Juglans Regia extract goes, this is really good, very clean, very similar to the Mr. White Pure White Juglans Regia that I actually reviewed recently. So you're in good company when you're being compared to two other good products. Overall, this is a really well-balanced, nootropic, feel-good, and productive kind of experience with amazing pumps to boot. Citrulline malate at 10 grams and the nitric oxide support is more than enough. And combine that with the alpha-O, which gives you more of a speedy effect, and the synephrine, which has you sweating just a little bit, and it's going to create a nice thermogenic feeling and a really good clean pump. This isn't like a crazy swole juicy type of pump, but definitely a noticeable increase in vascularity, and it's just a well-rounded package. It's a really good type of pre-workout, one that is very nootropic and has you elevating the mood in the background. You're not going to be hopped up off of this alpha-O. This definitely feels more like a weaker Rewolskine as opposed to that crazy, insanely potent alpha-O that a lot of you stim heads are used to. So don't expect going into this and you guys are seeing, oh my God, it's 3 milligrams of alpha-yohimbine on label. It feels more like 1, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. This isn't a crazy over-the-top stim junkie, hopped up, cracked out type of pre-workout. This definitely falls in on the medium stim category. This is something I could see myself running 3, maybe even 4 times a week, because the fact that you have so much pumps in here really balances out the other, I guess you could say, gray area types of stimulants, which you have Araya in here, you have Juglans Regia, and alpha-O. I guess those are ones that are kind of considered somewhere in the middle, right? Exotic stimulants, if you will. But the hefty dose of citrulline and the nitric oxide that you have in here really keeps everything flowing. It's a smooth experience. You're going to push. You're going to have good, clean energy going for about 2 hours, and then it slowly fades away, and you're left with this nice little nootropic, productive type of feeling that lasts for a couple of hours post-training. There's no crash. There's no stimmy willy. There's no negative side effects, no shivers, no nose drooping, nothing. Honestly, it was a very well-balanced experience, and I didn't expect the thermogenics to be insane in here. 30 milligrams of bitter orange extract isn't anything crazy, but I did sweat a little bit. I did push a little hard on a couple of my sets. I did hit back today, so a couple of different variations of lat pull downs, and I definitely was sweating a little bit, but overall, very solid pre-workout. And again, just make sure that for the first time when you open this tub, just stand a little bit far from it, because if you get that cloud of smoke, you might be coughing for a little bit. Other than that tiny little minuscule nitpick, it's a very solid pre-workout. And if you guys are interested in picking up this bad boy here, you can head over to the official Project M Supplements website. I'm going to link it down below with a discount code, which is going to save you 20% off your entire order and help support the High Stim Ace YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. And this year, we are going to focus on growing the channel and a couple of other side projects and plans I have for this channel. There's a lot of stuff coming. The High Stim Experience podcast is going to be continuing. And me and my co-host, Alex Hammerstone, are going to be bringing you a lot of unique, interesting conversation, a lot of content, and a lot of stuff that I can't just do on regular videos. So make sure you subscribe, guys, and definitely going to see you guys this coming Sunday. Hope you have an incredible weekend up ahead. Happy New Year to everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. Follow the Instagram at High Stim Ace, and I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace, signing off.